Hi there, it's Ms. Barber. The story I'm going to read to you today is called The Tale of Rabbit and Coyote. It's a Mexican folktale retold by Tony Johnson and illustrated by Tommy DePaula. I hope you enjoy it. Let's start by looking at the cover. There we go, The Tale of Rabbit and Coyote. One full moon night, Rabbit found a field of chilies. He was so pleased to see them, all glossy and green, that he jumped right in and ate the biggest ones. When the sun rose, the farmer came to check the chilies. They were scattered everywhere, and the biggest, glossiest, greenest ones were gone. Among the plants, he saw rabbit tracks. So what did he do? He made himself a beeswax doll, and he set that doll in the middle of the field to catch the chili thief. When night fell, Rabbit returned. He saw the farmer made of wax and crept up to say hello and to ask for some chilies, too. But the wax farmer had nothing to say to Rabbit. Nothing at all. Rabbit was angry. He punched the farmer hard. His right paw stuck in the wax. Still, the farmer said nothing. So he punched him once again. His left paw stuck too. Rabbit was fuming mad. But the wax farmer was silent as the stars. So he hauled off with both feet and walloped him. Aye, aye, aye! Then Rabbit was trapped for sure. When the real farmer came to check his trap, he was delighted to see Rabbit there. Que deliciosa! How delicious, he said, rubbing his hands together. He popped Rabbit into a sack and took him home. When he got there, he hung up the sack, built a fire, and set a pot of water to boil. Then he went looking for herbs. From where he was hanging in the sack, Rabbit saw Coyote coming. "What are you doing there?" asked Coyote. "This man wants me to marry his daughter," Rabbit said, "but I'm too young." "Why don't you take my place? Look, the water's ready to make hot chocolate. There'll be a grand party." Think Coyote's going to fall for that? When the farmer came back and took down the sack, he saw Coyote inside it. "You'll pay for this," he said. He popped Coyote into the hot water. Ay, ay, ay! Coyote flew right out of that water and took off after Rabbit. There we go. He followed his tracks till he found him high in a hikara tree. "I'm going to eat you now," said Coyote, for he was very furious. So, what did Rabbit do? Well, he knew that Coyote couldn't tell the difference between the fruit of the hikara, hard as a rock, and the soft, sweet zapote. "Why eat me?" asked Rabbit, "when right here I have sweet zapote fruit instead." "Well, toss me one," growled Coyote. Rabbit did that. He tossed down the hikara with all his might. Plunk! It struck Coyote and knocked him out cold as a cabbage. When Coyote woke up, he tracked Rabbit till he saw that furry scoundrel resting against a large rock at the edge of a hill. It says here, "Te voy a comer." That means, I'm going to eat you. "Please don't eat me," pleaded Rabbit, leaning against the rock. "Can't you see that if I don't hold back this rock, it will roll down and crush the world?" Here, you hold it while I find some people to help us. Coyote believed Rabbit and took his place. Rabbit hopped off, free as a bee. Hasta luego. Soon, Coyote knew he'd made a mistake. He went after Rabbit, muttering all the while. When at last he found him, Coyote said, "Now I'll eat you." "But then who will take care of the little children in this little school?" asked Rabbit, pointing to a wasp's nest on a low tree branch. "Someone needs to give it a knock if a pupil tries to leave." Well, Coyote loved to give knocks, so he took the job. He lay down near the branch and waited. When a wasp flew out, he whacked that wasp nest with a little stick, and all the wasps came after him. They chased him into a pond, only his nose stuck out of the water, so they stung that many times. It was pitch black night when Coyote found Rabbit at the edge of a lake. Now he was really going to eat him. But Rabbit said, "Why eat me, Coyote, when I have been waiting for you so we can share the cheese that you see there?" Rabbit pointed to the moon's reflection upon the water. Kind of looks like a cheese, right? "Of course," explained Rabbit, "we must first drink all the juice of this cheese in order to eat the cheese itself." So Coyote began drinking the water to reach the cheese itself. After a time, he said, "I simply can't drink more." "Just a few more sips," said Rabbit, "and you can reach the cheese for sure." Coyote drank more. He drank so much water, it poured from his ears. But when he turned to discuss this with Rabbit, Rabbit ran away. Coyote ran after him as best he could, but he was as swollen as a sponge. Now, Rabbit knew of a ladder that reached up into the sky. He began to climb it, up, and then he hopped all the way to the moon. Adios, amigo. Then he hid the ladder. Far below, he saw Coyote looking for him up in the sky, but try as he might, Coyote never found the ladder. That is why, to this very day, Coyote sits gazing at the moon. And now and then, he howls at it, for he is still very furious with Rabbit. And that is the end of the story, The Tale of Rabbit and Coyote.